Hello and welcome back to another Real World Archaeology. In this series, typically we watch film or TV with the perspective of an archaeologist, analysing the history and the archaeology contained within and, marking it for the better or worse. Although today's episode is a little bit different, but today we're going to be looking at a trailer. Now, I'm joined today by Liv.
Hi guys.
Hello, Liv. And today we're going to be looking at the trailer for Tomb Raider. Now, this is important. Have you ever heard of Tomb Raider, Liv?
Never. I've heard the word, but it seemed a bit too geeky to me. I mean, obviously it's based on a video game, and I'm really not into that.
No, and the thing is, the last thing we are is geeks.
Yes.
Or computer game enthusiasts. It's just not. No, of course, we both know what Tomb Raider is. For my part, I've been playing the computer games for decades now, which is kind of terrifying. And actually, also as well, I have very fond guilty pleasure memories of the original Tomb Raider movie. Not so much the second one, although the second one is actually even more of a guilty pleasure, really. I don't know about you. Are you a fan of Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider?
I am. It's a guilty pleasure, but.
Yeah.
What? We were teens.
We were teenagers. It was allowed. Absolutely. And all of the drum and bass music. It was so big in Europe at the time. Yeah. Obviously, Tomb Raider has evolved with over the years as a computer game franchise. And the most recent iteration is quite gritty. It's all about survival against the odds, I suppose, and pitting woman against the world. And actually, I've been quite enthusiastic about the new direction that Tomb Raider's been in. So
I really like them.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, for example, there's a whole design philosophy in the computer games, which is something. It's basically smart, savvy Lara. Basically, the idea is that you are playing a character who's using her brain as much as her body to get around the level. So. Along comes a movie which is inspired by the new computer games, and well, here's the trailer. So let's just take a look at the trailer in its entirety. Okay, so here we go.
What's your name?
Lara
Surname?
Croft. Lara, your father's gone. You can pick up where he left off. I see so much of him in you. Brilliant.
Hello, Sprout. If you're listening to this, then I must be dead. I found something. A tomb called the Mother of Death. If Trinity succeeds, our world is in danger. Promise me you will stop them.
I promise. I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It will be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure.
You shouldn't have come here. But I'm glad that you did.
What do you know about my father?
Now I see the likeness, the recklessness.
Close the tomb once and for all. The fate of humanity is now in your hands.
Can't be too careful these days. The world has gone bloody mad.
I'll take two.
So that's the trailer. What are your first thoughts, Liv?
Well, my first thoughts when I saw it was that I was a bit afraid that they were going to do an exact replica of the first game that came with the relaunch a few years ago. because it's very similar with the boat crash and her father and going to a very dangerous sea to look for something. But they seem to have just taken that first part, so I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, because I mean, some elements are definitely distinct. Like in the reboots, she doesn't do this thing of discovering something in her own house, or certainly in their father's tomb. But there is an element of that reboot that I really like that might not be in here by the look of it. Okay. And that is that, well, she has a growth arc. In the first game, she goes from being a fresh-faced student who crashes on an island to being this sort of survivalist, all the while with bits of archaeology sprinkled in. So she'll find artifacts and objects and things like that. But in this one, it sounds possibly as though she's already, as it were, a badass before she ever leaves Croft Manor. Because like her dad says, you must stop Trinity, this kind of thing. Is that important to you, that she goes through this arc of being a student to being someone to be feared with a bow and arrow?
Well, it's not super important to me,
okay.
But I appreciate it, of course, because it makes her more human. It makes her less of a superhero and more of a regular hero. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded because I'm thinking that it's one thing to put that arc in a game because you have the level system and you grow better as she grows better. But in a movie, I don't expect that.
Okay.
In an action movie like the Tomb Raider.
No, that's fair enough.
Franchise.
What do you make of Alicia Vikander as Lara?
Well, I like her. I mean, she's Swedish, isn't she?
Yeah, she's apparently born in the city where you live, in Gothenburg. And previously most well known for being in The Danish Girl, even though she's a Swedish girl, I find that pleasingly ironic. I think she looks the part. I think she sounds the part. She's doing quite a convincing accent. And I like this little moment here where she's not going in going, I'm Lara Croft, listen to me, at the hotel. She just sort of gently reveals it and the guy goes, sorry.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm also, all this stuff here, all these little puzzles. So there's a puzzle here that's presumably been left to her, I guess, by her dad, that she's given in the boardroom by the look of it. There's getting this key and opening Sir Richard Croft's tomb. It's all a bit Da Vinci Code, and especially, for example, this puzzle just here. It looks. I don't know. I'm a bit concerned that we're just going to go basically from twisty puzzle to twisty puzzle, and that's going to be basically the film.
I doubt it. I mean, there's plenty of action in the movie as well.
Yeah.
From what we can see in the trailer, and frankly, I wouldn't mind a better Da Vinci Code with some Lara Croft in it.
No, that's true. Yeah, you can't get much worse than the Da Vinci Code, definitely. In terms of certainly the film and the book. Yeah, terrible writing. Yeah. Anyway, one thing I do like though, I've just noticed, is the iconography is nicely consistent. So you got this especially this sort of icon here, and then later on in trailer, what we have is the briefest of brief shots. Here we go. But the icons look quite similar to what's going on in this tomb. And also there's a good bit of stone clockwork going on. Like the sort of stuff that
I love them.
Hollywood loves to do a tomb that has stone clockwork.
I would love to be in such a tomb in real life. I mean, imagine the hazard pay. Just walking into some megalithic tomb and going, oh shit.
Yeah, you get hazard pay.
This was different.
But also as well, I mean, like if you were a student and you're on site for the first time, how would you explain this as a hazard? So when you go into the tomb, it's
imagine doing the the painting of it and drawing it.
Yeah, trying to draw that in section. Yeah. Or,
trying to measure it without getting hurt.
No, I like it. And really, ever since Indiana Jones, this idea that these tombs contain these elements that really, actually, the filmmakers don't care about the mechanics. That it just has to be cool, and it is cool. So
It is really cool.
Yeah, that's going to be.
And it's
fun.
really funny to sit there and go, "Oh my God, how well preserved! I'm wondering how those mechanisms survived."
Yeah. Well, actually, that was one of the things that always bugged me about The Last Crusade, was that, you know, only the penitent man will pass, and he sort of dodges the spike, you know, the blades. I always thought, well, what's the chances of that still working all those years later? So yes, as you say, the fact that it's working is quite impressive. But also, as well, I'm a little bit slightly let down by the very strong reliance on computer-generated imagery. It doesn't look quite real, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, maybe I'm a bit spoiled by some of the more recent action films from Hollywood, where there's a reliance on sort of in-camera work. But
yeah.
Then again, it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, how else could you film that anyway? I guess. So all in all, I guess, I mean, because like I know when you first saw the trailer, you said, well, it's an action movie, meh. And yeah, and actually, I was in Rhodes at the time, and you said, well, don't get your hopes up too high, like kind of thing. So I was like, I can't watch it.
Yeah.
And have access to the internet. So is that still your opinion? You still think it's, you know, action movie is action movie kind of thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I will enjoy it more than most because it's Lara Croft, and I have kind of a fangirl relationship to the franchise. But I'm not hysterically overwhelmed or excited.
Okay. Well, no, and I think that's probably the right place to be in. I think if we were both just going, "Ah!" then we would be very disappointed. That was really high pitch.
Yeah.
We would both be very disappointed by the film. But actually, it looks like... Also, as well, I love Dominic West, the guy who plays Lord Richard Croft. He always delivers a good performance. Did you ever see the film Centurion?
Oh, ages ago.
Michael Fassbender, because he plays the general of the 9th, I think, Legion, and he's brilliant in that as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of that. And also all this stuff unfolding. I mean, as much as it's heavily reliant on computer graphics, that is cool. So yeah, let's see what happens, I guess. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Comment below. Let us know. Are you excited for the film? Are you just sort of meh? I don't think it's definitely not the most exciting trailer I've ever seen, but it's Lara Croft, so that's cool. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.